Now, after apparent shaft has got anterior surface, lateral surface and medial surface by three lines or border. Posterior border called linea aspera, this is very prominent border. Posterior border is called linea aspera, who has got lateral lip and medial lip and intermediate area. This linea aspera has got lateral lip, medial lip and intermediate area like iliac crest. So medial lip, lateral lip and intermediate area on the linea aspera. This is posterior border, and rounded lateral border and medial border. So has got anterior surface, lateral surface, medial surface demarcated by posterior border or linea aspera, medial border rounded, lateral border rounded. So on the shaft there are three borders and three surfaces, but on the posterior surface and the upper end, the linea aspera has got lateral lip and medial lip. They diverge on the upper part, enclosing a surface called posterior surface, upper posterior surface. This lateral lip is going upwards and has got a tuberosity called gluteal tuberosity. Here attachment of gluteus maximus muscle, and on the medial lip there is a linear elevation called spiral line, and in between these two lines, this upper part is called upper posterior surface, and on the lateral lip downwards, this proceeds forwards and downwards as a lateral supracondylar line, and medial lip also proceeds as medial supracondylar line, enclosing a surface on the lower end called lower posterior surface or popliteal surface. So altogether the femur has got five surfaces: upper posterior surface, lower posterior surface, anterior surface, lateral surface and medial surface. Now, attachment of the femur on the shaft. The anterior surface, upper two-thirds, gives origin of vastus intermedius, and in the lower part, articularis genu, origin of articularis genu, and upper two-thirds of the anterior surface gives origin of vastus intermedius. Now, on the intertrochanteric line, the upper part gives linear origin of vastus lateralis, and the lower part gives origin of vastus lateralis and vastus medialis. Now, vastus lateralis on the upper part, and on the lower part of the spiral line, intertrochanteric line, gives origin of vastus medialis, and this vastus medialis proceeds downwards on the spiral line and medial lip of the linea aspera, gives origin of vastus medialis. Vastus lateralis on the upper part of the intertrochanteric line, then it goes upwards and coming through the lateral lip of lateral lip of linea aspera, up to the upper two-third gives origin of vastus lateralis. Now, attachment on the linea aspera. This is very complex. On the linea aspera, you know, on the medial lip there is attachment of medial intermuscular septum. On the medial part of that, attachment of vastus medialis, and on the lateral lip, attachment of lateral intermuscular septum. On the lateral part of the septum, origin of vastus lateralis. At the middle, intermediate area, or attachment of posterior intermuscular septum. So, in between the medial and posterior intermuscular septum, attachment of this area in between medial lip and posterior intermuscular septum, upper part, adductor brevis, and in the lower part, adductor longus, and lateral to that, attachment of adductor magnus, then posterior intermuscular septum, and in between posterior intermuscular septum and the lateral intermuscular septum, attachment of, on the upper part, iliacus, pectineus, and short head of biceps femoris. So, from medial to lateral, at the linea aspera, attachment medially, vastus medialis, then medial intermuscular septum, then on the upper part, adductor brevis, on the lower part, adductor longus, then posterior intermuscular septum, then short head of biceps femoris, then lateral intermuscular septum, then vastus lateralis.